They lied to you. Not once, not by accident, but over and over with conviction. They lied to you in the classroom, in your home, in your quiet moments of ambition. And perhaps the greatest tragedy is that they believed the lie themselves. You see, most people live their entire lives chasing illusions. They chase a definition of success that was handed to them, not chosen, taught, not tested, accepted, never questioned. And so they run harder, faster, year after year, trying to catch something they don't even understand. And when they grow tired, they blame themselves. They say, I must not be working hard enough. I must not be smart enough. I must not be lucky enough. But that isn't the truth. The truth is far more dangerous. The truth is that the game was rigged long before you even began to play, because you were taught the wrong rules. Rules that keep you obedient, but not powerful. Rules that keep you busy, but not free. Rules that sound noble, but deliver nothing. And until you see them clearly, you will continue to chase a mirage in the desert. But today, the fog lifts, because I'm going to reveal the three great lies, not myths, not misunderstandings, lies, taught to you by people who didn't know better, passed from generation to generation like sacred wisdom, when in truth they were shackles. And once you see them, you cannot unsee them. Once you recognize how they've shaped your beliefs, you will never again mistake movement for meaning, struggle for strength, or imitation for greatness. These are not gentle corrections. They are a call to a war against confusion, a war against false promises, a war for your mind. And when we're through, you'll understand why so many try so hard, yet so few ever truly succeed. So if you've ever felt like success was always just out of reach, if you've ever wondered why some men seem to rise while others rot in obscurity, if you've ever asked yourself, what am I missing? Lean in. Because what I'm about to share, but maybe the most important truth no one ever told you, they meant well. The ones who taught you these things, your parents, your teachers, even your mentors, they weren't trying to deceive you. They were only passing down what had been given to them. What they had been told was safe. What they had come to believe was true. They said, study hard, follow the rules, do what you're told and everything will work out. And perhaps they truly believed it, because for a time it appeared to work. You were rewarded for obedience, for patience, for staying inside the lines. You were praised for remembering, not questioning, for sitting still, not standing out. And so you built a pattern. You began to believe that the way forward was the way everyone else was walking. But deep down, something in you always questioned it, didn't it? You noticed the man who never seemed to work harder, yet had more freedom. You noticed the one who spoke boldly, and the room listened. You noticed the rare few who stepped outside the system and seemed to thrive. And a quiet voice inside you whispered, there must be another way. But you silenced that voice. You told it, be patient. It's not your time. Stay in line. Because the cost of questioning the rules felt too high. Until one day the doubt returned, louder. And this time it asked, if I've followed all the instructions, why do I still feel stuck? If I've done everything right, why does my life still feel wrong? This is the moment most people retreat. They double down on the old model. They try harder, push faster, hope louder. But the truth remains unchanged. If the foundation is false, the effort only takes you further from freedom. Because the problem is not in how hard you're trying, it's in what you've been taught to believe. And that's what we're here to change. So listen closely now, because I'm about to reveal the first of the three great lies. And when you hear it, it may sound familiar, it may sound reasonable, but make no mistake, it is the root of exhaustion, frustration, and quiet despair for millions. And until you see it for what it is, you will keep mistaking sacrifice for strategy and confusion for failure. Let's expose it. Here it is. Lie number one, hard work guarantees success. You've heard it since childhood. If you just work hard enough, you'll make it. They told you that effort alone would carry you to the finish line, that sweat, sacrifice, and sleepless nights were enough. But that's not the truth. That's the trap. Because the world is filled with men who work hard and die broke. Men who wake up before the sun. Men who give everything to their labor. Men who never stop moving. but never move forward. They work and they work and they work, and still they remain unknown, unfulfilled, unrewarded. Why? Because hard work without direction is just motion, and motion without purpose is futility. You can run 10,000 miles in a circle and never arrive. Effort means nothing if it's not applied towards something definite. This is what no one tells you, that working harder at the wrong thing only takes you further from the right one. That success is not built by sweat alone. It is built by vision, by clarity, by the application of energy toward a precise outcome. Henry Ford understood this. He didn't build an empire by working longer hours than his competitors. He built it by understanding systems, by thinking differently, by directing labor toward maximum effect, not maximum fatigue. He once said he had no interest in being the smartest man in the room, because he had a row of buttons on his desk, and each button summoned a man who knew more about one thing than he did. That is not laziness. That is leverage. And leverage is more powerful than labor. Let me say that again. Leverage is more powerful than labor. Now this may make you uncomfortable because we've been taught that struggle is noble, that burnout is a badge of honor, that exhaustion is the price of admission. But I will tell you plainly, suffering is not a strategy. You were not born to wear yourself out proving your worth. You were born to direct your gifts with precision, to solve meaningful problems with clarity. And yes, effort is still required, but not blind effort, not desperate effort, intentional effort, purposeful energy, applied to the right idea, at the right time, in the right way. That is what builds real success. So stop confusing movement with meaning. Stop worshiping busyness. Stop chasing validation through fatigue. And start asking better questions. What exactly am I building? Where exactly is my work taking me? Is this work aligned with the result I truly want? Because if the answer is no, then no amount of hard work will save you. The man digging in the wrong direction does not need a bigger shovel. He needs a map. You must become that man. Not the strongest, not the busiest, but the one who knows exactly where he's going and why. Lie number 2. Knowledge is power. It sounds wise, almost sacred. It's been repeated so often, it no longer gets questioned. But if that were true, then the libraries would be filled with millionaires. Then the man who memorized the most would be the most respected. Then the scholar would outrank the man of action. And we both know that's not how the world works, because knowledge on its own is not power. It is potential. It is the spark, but not the fire. It is the tool, but not the craftsman. It is the plan, but not the execution. And until that knowledge is applied, acted upon, tested, refined, it does nothing. It creates no movement. It solves no problem. It produces no result. This is why so many smart people feel stuck. They know everything about everything, except how to move. They've read the books. They've gathered the theories. They can explain the path to success in perfect detail, but they haven't taken a single step, and so they stay frozen, over-informed, under-applied. They are not powerful. They are bloated with facts, but starved of courage. Now let me be clear. I am not against knowledge. I am not against learning, but I'm against hoarding. I'm against the illusion that knowing more is the same as becoming more, because the man who knows less, but acts, will outpace the man who knows more and waits every time. This is what I discovered in my studies of the wealthy, the influential, the builders of legacy. They did not all possess encyclopedic minds, but they knew how to take what they learned and put it to work. They turned ideas into action, principles into systems, concepts into results. They didn't learn for the sake of learning. They learned for the sake of building, of solving, of doing. And that is what you must do. You must take the knowledge in your mind and convert it into movement. Every time you read, ask, how will I apply this? Every time you learn, ask, what will I do with this today? Because until it shows up in your behavior, it is still potential. And potential is not power. It is the illusion of power. The dangerous comfort of thinking you're progressing while you stand still. So here is the shift. You don't need more information. You need more implementation. Take what you already know, and use it, sharpen it, apply it, refine it, then teach it, then build with it, then lead through it, and only then does knowledge become power. Lie number 3, success means money and status. This is the one they don't just teach you, they sell it. From the moment you are old enough to dream, they place images in your mind. The mansion, the gold watch, the applause of the crowd, the title on the door, the recognition, the admiration. They paint a picture and they call it success. So you chase it. You climb ladders that were never yours. You pursue goals you never questioned. You play games you didn't design, all because you were told, if you just earn enough, if you just impress enough, if you just achieve enough, you'll finally feel it. That peace, that freedom, that worth. But the truth? That version of success is hollow. Because money without meaning is a prison. Status without substance is a costume. And recognition without purpose is a shadow. I've seen men who had everything, the wealth, the titles, the admiration of strangers, and still they lived in quiet agony. They had built empires, but had no peace, no clarity, no fulfillment. Why? Because they had reached the top of the ladder, and only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. You see, true success is not external. It is not what you own. It is not what others think. It is not what can be measured by numbers or names. True success is alignment. It is the harmony between what you desire, what you do, and who you are becoming. It is the feeling of knowing you are walking your own path, not the one they drew for you. It is contribution, not consumption. Service, not spectacle. Purpose, not performance. The most successful man I ever met, he had no audience, no applause, no press, but he woke up every morning with peace, he worked with joy, he spoke with conviction, he slept with no regrets, and to me, that man was wealthy beyond measure because he was free. Now let me be clear, money matters, resources matter, they give you options, they give you reach, they give you the ability to build, to support, to create, but they are not the goal. They are the result of value, and value is created by the man who lives in alignment. So I ask you, do you want money, or do you want meaning? Do you want praise, or do you want purpose? Do you want to impress, or do you want to impact? Because the moment you stop chasing the symbols and start living the substance, everything changes. You no longer chase success, you define it, you create it, you live it, and the world, it begins to notice. Not because you're loud, but because you're true. Now let me tell you why these lies feel so real, why they're so hard to let go of, why even now, part of you might still be clinging to them. It's not because you're weak, or lazy, or foolish. It's because these lies were not just told to you, they were programmed into you from the earliest days, before you could reason, before you could question, before you could defend your own mind. They were wrapped in praise, in structure, in repetition, and so they became familiar. And what is familiar becomes comfortable, even if it's false. You were rewarded for obedience, for repetition, for fitting in. You were given gold stars for remembering what others had said, not for discovering what you believed. You were taught to follow instructions, not to follow intuition. You were taught to ask for answers, not to ask better questions. And over time, your subconscious accepted the blueprint. This is what we call conditioning. It's the silent shaping of a person's beliefs, not through logic, but through repetition, through routine, through reward, through emotional patterning. And by the time you were old enough to choose, most of your choices had already been made for you, not by force, but by habit, not by chains, but by programming. And so when someone says, work harder and you'll succeed, you believe it. When they say, get the degree, know the facts, and you'll be powerful, you accept it. When they say success is fame and fortune, you chase it. Not because it's true, but because it feels familiar. And your brain, it clings to the familiar, even when it hurts, even when it fails, even when a part of you knows something isn't right. Because the brain prefers known pain over unknown possibility. That's how the lies survive, not because they're strong, but because they're rehearsed. You've rehearsed these beliefs for decades, and now you must unlearn them. You must replace them. You must reprogram the system, because your subconscious doesn't care if something is true. It only cares if it's repeated. It only listens when the message is loud, emotional, and consistent. So if you want to rewrite your mind, you must speak a new truth, daily, deliberately, not once, not when you feel inspired, every day, until the new belief becomes stronger than the old one, until the new identity becomes more familiar than the lie. That's the path, not overnight, but brick by brick. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not trapped. You were taught a system that wasn't built for your greatness. And now, you are breaking it, not with rage, but with reason, with truth, with decision. You've seen the lie. Now it's time to live the truth. Now that you've seen the lies, let's talk about what to do instead. Because it's not enough to unlearn. You must rebuild. You must lay down new principles. Clear, sharp, tested. So let me give you 3 truths. 3 truths to replace the 3 lies. Truth number 1, effort without purpose is exhaustion. You were told that hard work guarantees success. But here is the truth. Purposeful work is what moves mountains. It's not about how much you grind. It's about where you direct your force. Your time is too precious for blind effort. So ask, what am I working toward? Is it mine? Or did someone else hand it to me? Is this building something? Or just filling my hours? You don't need more hustle. You need more intention. You don't need to move faster. You need to move in the right direction. Start there. Truth number 2. Knowledge is only power when it's used. Don't gather for the sake of gathering. Learn with a target. Study for the purpose of execution. Before you read another book, ask, what have I applied from the last one? Before you seek more answers, ask, have I acted on what I already know? There's nothing wrong with ignorance, but there's tragedy in unused wisdom. So don't just collect, create, teach, test. Turn what you know into what you do, and what you do will change your life. Truth number 3. Success is not applause. It's alignment. The world told you that success was shiny, that it was out there in the eyes of others. But real success, it lives in your chest. It lives in that moment when your work, your values, and your direction all point to the same place. It's the quiet peace of knowing, I am doing what I was built to do. That's what you want. Not just income, not just admiration, but clarity, conviction, harmony. So don't chase someone else's finish line. Define your own and walk it with strength. These are the replacements. Effort becomes intention. Knowledge becomes action. Status becomes alignment. This is your new system. And when you live by it, you won't need permission. You won't need applause. You won't even need motivation. Because when your mind is clear, when your mission is true, momentum is natural. You no longer have to force it, you live it. One decision at a time, one page at a time, one act of courage at a time. You are no longer a follower of lies. You are a builder of truth. And the world, it shifts in response. You've seen the lies. You've felt their weight. You know now why the world is full of people who try and then never arrive. Not because they're lazy, but because they were misled. And now you know better. You've seen through the illusion. You've named the trap. And that means you can never go back. You cannot unknow the truth. You cannot unsee the cost. You cannot pretend that hard work alone is enough, that knowledge without action is power, that money and fame will ever fill your soul. You are awake now, and that comes with responsibility, because truth demands action, and that action begins here, not next week, not once it's perfect. Now. So decide. Decide what success means for you. Define it. Write it down. Say it aloud. Not what they told you, not what they sold you, what you believe, what you choose. Then ask yourself, what will I do with what I know? What will I build with my energy? What will I align with my values? Because this is your life, and no one is coming to live it for you. Not your parents, not your boss, Not your heroes, you. You are the one who must choose your path. You are the one who must direct your fire. You are the one who must make your name mean something to you. And that doesn't happen by following the crowd. It happens by breaking away, by doing the hard thing, by walking alone, until the world recognizes your clarity. You are not here to play small. You're not here to memorize their map. You are here to draw your own. So go, not with hesitation, but with certainty. Because you're not lost. You were simply taught the wrong things, and now you are teaching yourself something better. And the world may not understand at first. Let them watch, let them wonder, let them whisper. You will be too focused to hear them, because you are no longer chasing success. You are living it.